Eh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, great.
go ahead.
It's May 12th, 2020, and you're watching Vonda and Jason Live. I'm Vonda Evans.
And I'm Jason Flowers.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also on YouTube, click the bell for notifications on future upcoming shows. Let's get started.
Okay. We're going to get to some popular culture in a minute and some political news shortly. But I wanted to talk about dating for a minute. I was in a recent argument with a friend of mine about the subject of dating. My argument is that you can date multiple people at one time. They were very adamant that you cannot. My opinion is that there's many different levels to dating, and that um, first you start with dating, and dating just basically means just getting to know someone. There's no obligation to that person, in my opinion. You don't have to answer calls if you wanted to. You don't have to see them if you don't feel the need to. But then it comes a level. The next level is dating exclusively, and when you make a decision to choose someone to date. So in my mind, if I see someone I like and I'm interested in them, and we're just talking to get to know one another, to me dating is just that. We're just dating, we're getting to know each other. I don't have to um choose to just date you and date you alone. Some people say, my friend was just saying, like, well, you can't really get to know someone when you're dating multiple people at one time. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that it's on a continuum. One being I just met you, and 10 we're in a committed relationship. I think that once it gets past five, when you are, there's an emotional connection. You know, you want it to go farther. There's intimacy involved. There, you like this person. I think then it shifts a little bit to wanting to, in order to build that, you have to be able to have just a one-on-one relationship with that individual so that you can focus on building what you're putting together. But I think that from 1 to 5, when you just meet somebody, you're going out to dinner, there may be intimacy involved, there may not be intimacy involved, but there's not a commitment. You know, there did you just like the person? Maybe you like them for the sex, and maybe you like them for, but you don't see a future in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that it depends on what people see it as. I mean, if you don't see a future in it, it's going to be something like taking a little weekend trip. I mean, it's just, you're there temporary. You're not laying roots to a foundation, because it's temporary. There's something just about that person that you can't envision a relationship with them. I think that that point, it's okay to date multiple people, but some people do feel different. Are we able to see the callers and see their little
Yeah.
comments and stuff?
Uh-huh. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. I'm posted some up already.
Okay, very good.
So here's the
So
thing. I
go
was going to
ahead.
say, I was going to add to that and say, like, but sometimes you run into a situation when one person may like the person more than the other, and one person may just be like, okay, well, I'm casually, I feel you, I like you, I may be attracted to you, but that one person is like, no, I really, really like you, and I want to like be with you, and I kind of want to move things along further. And then also too, sometimes I don't think people take the time to have that conversation. Even if you both like each other mutually, some people don't even take the time to have the conversation of, well, I like you, and for me, dating, I'm at a point in my life where I'm just dating right now. I'm not interested in any commitment with someone right now. I'm just dating out here trying to figure things out. And then sometimes some people are like, they just want to date, and I just want to find somebody I like, and they like me back. I want to date them and date them alone. But you can't fault someone for wanting to date multiple people or be in that place when you in that place where you just want to date one single person.
But I think this, I think that if a person has a committing spirit, they're a person that they know what they want things to go farther, faster, and they just want to be with that one person. If you're with a person that doesn't feel that way, I don't believe that there's a chance for that relationship really to grow. Um, is there an age limit to that? Well, yeah, we ain't talking about no kids in high school. Okay, we talking about grown ass people. Okay, we ain't talking about no damn kids.
Hey,
Okay, but what
Tata.
I'm saying to you is, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I'm gonna say this, and I think that here goes the situation. Men want women to be exclusive. They
But
want to
right,
be able to date multiple women.
right.
You my woman, and I got you locked down, but I'm gonna do what I want to do and see who I want. As Bishop Jakes told the woman when he had the little series,
Hmm.
it's your world, my world, and our world. Okay. And when
That's
we in
correct.
our world, we neutral. But when we leave our world, you got your world and I got my world. It
But
takes a
your world
certain
is my
woman.
world.
Exactly. It takes a certain woman to go along with that. Let me say this to you about me. Men who are set in their ways and are successful want to see if a woman will fit in their life. Is this woman compatible with me? Uh, I want her to do the things I need her to do. Well, because I'm so busy, the issue for me is, will you fit in my life? And this is what I'm saying. If I'm putting 8 hours, my phone start ringing from 11 o'clock in the morning to 7. Baby, no, I can't go eat with you. I'm busy. Some men, that's a turn off to them. I've had a lot of friends say, you gonna have to calm that down because no man wants that intrusiveness. They want you to be available to them when they're available because that's what they want, especially a successful man. That's what happened with P. Diddy and these women. They're not attached. Making sure he's happy is their job. Like you work,
Hmm.
like I work. Their job from the time they wake up in the morning is to make sure that P. Diddy is happy. And he pays all their bills and he take care of them. That is their job, taking care of their man, because he's providing for everything. In my world, so what that means to me, I may not be able to get a man who is equally successful because it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to make a man who's going to be able to understand my requirements and to date me around them. And a successful man is not going to do that. He want all or nothing. So I
I think that's
understand.
I think that's a selfish successful man that says that. That's just what I think.
Okay, follow along, Jason. And listen to me. When you worked for me, when I needed you there for me, Jason, I need this. I need this opinion. I need this. I need this order. You had to produce for me because you were getting paid for it. You're in a. I'm dating a man. He's, baby, I got all your bills. All I want you to do is I want to go, when I want to go on a trip, I want you to go. When I want you to entertain me
But
because
that's a
that
different.
then becomes my job.
But that's a different type of guy. And even if me working for you, I think that's still a selfish point of view for you to say, drop what you're doing right now, even though I have some other job assignments to come do what you want me to do.
But
Some people
most
view it that way.
right, but a lot of blacks, and I don't know about nothing else. That's what they want. So that's why they don't want their wives to work, because they want them to cater to them and their needs.
But I do want to address a comment that Carmen made. She said dating is different than friends. I disagree with that. I don't think dating is different than friends because when you dating someone, all you're exclusively doing is just getting to know someone, and that's basically
But
what you're
Jason,
doing.
how do you see? Here's the problem. That's sex. See,
Well,
sex messes up
it
everything
does. It convolutes
and
things.
it makes it become more emotional. Okay? That's,
Mhm.
listen, let me tell you this. Okay?
But a lot
A
of people are dating.
relationship without sex is like a fire. It's slow and it burns quickly. When you put sex on, it's like a sparkler. Whoosh, it burns. You got to
Real
be
quick.
careful with that
But that's the
because
thing. But
when you add that emotional component to it,
well,
you agree?
well, I agree with that. When you add sex into a dating relationship where there's no commitment to one another, there's no obligation to one another, you're just exclusively just getting to know them. And like I said, I'm the type of person I can date multiple people at one time. I'm not so frazzled where I cannot just literally like, oh, I'm mixing up the people I'm dating. No, no, I'm not that type of person. I can multitask. I'm not that type. But some people say like you can't do that.
But now this is a question. In just say a hypothetical situation, could you be seeing somebody and you're having sex with different people?
See, people do that. That type of situation creates a real convoluted situation where now you're developing feelings for multiple people at one time. And even if you're dating, it's still your right as a person. Even if you did decide to have sex with people like that, you can have if you like one person more than the other, you better hope that person you like it more than the other person likes you back the same way. Because if you leave those other three, they may be more beneficial for you or not. But then you go to that fourth person and they may not be the right one for you. But that's just a chance you got to take. That's
Baby,
just me.
let me tell you something, baby. And this is why I'm not near right. I'm just putting on hold. I'm all or nothing, baby. I'm a gambler. If it's right, I'm going into a 100. And that has been my problem traditionally. That men are not committing to me 100. They're committing to the idea of you, my woman. But they ain't really committing when it come down to when somebody call them and whatever. It's different. And I think that that's in, and so follow along. Mores. A man with a whole bunch of women is a playboy. A woman with a whole bunch of men is a hoe. It's the way society
That's
tends to paint people. And as a
but that
result, if a woman is having sex with 4 or 5 men, oh, she a hoe. But if a man, he got it going on, he the gigolo. And one is more tolerant of others. And I think that no matter what we say, the societal expectations, they come into play at some point. And so a woman feels, well, if I'm going to be in a committed relationship, then I can only be with you because that's what society has taught me to do, to believe. But a man, like, you know what a dude, I asked him, I said, when I got a divorce, I said, what? He said, let me tell you something. Good sex don't have nothing to do with good love, and good love don't have nothing to do with good sex. They're separate. Women twine them together. It's like a little braid in their hair. They overlap. And so as a result, I think that women set themselves up to be hurt because once they start having sex with a man, it goes from their vagina to their heart, straight path.
right.
And they're
Well,
separate.
so, but I do want to address some comments that's on the feed right now. Fred Gatson, he obviously disagrees with what I'm saying, and he thinks dating multiple people is a polyamorous spirit, which it is not. Dating, like I said, I don't know if you guys were on when I
Okay,
first
Fred,
started.
I see what you're saying, baby. He'll
Let me.
he he'll one and only, baby. I feel you, Fred. You got all them spirits in the bed, Tom, Dick, and Harry. You don't know what to do.
But see,
You don't
that's
know
not
who
what
in
I'm
that
doing.
bed with you.
That I'm not doing. I'm not bringing sex into it. For me, like I said, there's different levels to dating. There's different levels to dating. Dating is just exclusive. It's strictly getting to know someone. Hi, what's your name? I'm Jason. What do you do? What type of job do you have? Where do you live? What community you live in? What do you like? Where do you like to go to eat? Where do you hang out? That's getting to know someone. And there is no obligation, whether you have an attraction to that person or not, for you to answer their phone calls, for you to go out on a date with them, for you to do anything, or no obligation at all. You're just exclusively dating. Now, when you decide that you like someone, you need to have the conversation with them and tell them, say, hey, I'm really feeling you. And I don't know if you're dating other people at this time, but I want to date you exclusively. And I'm hoping that you would agree to date me exclusively too. I think people need to have that conversation. And when they don't have that conversation, it creates a bad situation where people start to have feelings, and it's like unexpected. It's like unaddressed expectations. Where like Fred thinks dating multiple people is wrong. I think it's not. So if you have two people that think like that, two people that think opposite, if you never had that conversation, it's going to create a situation where you guys are going to have friction.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that, first of all,
No, instead of dating, let's
communication is
use
the
the term.
lifeblood of any
No,
relationship.
dating is
Communication.
dating.
And
Dating.
you've got to talk about what you want, what you expect, and what you think. And I think that what happens is people begin to make assumptions.
Exactly.
Well, because if we've been dating 6 months, we're having sex, then they're supposed to mean it. If you're somewhere and the phone rings, you're supposed to answer. Listen, I remember a girl who every time her mama got a new boyfriend, she made the kids call him daddy. So by the time they got to be grown, from the time they was 10 to they was 20, they had 8 daddies. Well, okay, now I don't think that you ought to be doing that, calling them kids there. But she felt that if they were to address him as such, there would be a stronger connection. But it
Mhm.
confused the children. So I
Right.
think that what you have to do is at every step of the way, you got to talk about how you feel, how that person feels, and what it is that they want. See, I'm gonna tell you this about a woman. And men are different. From when a
Right.
woman phone ring, oh yes, I gotta call. I gotta take this. I gotta take this call. That means the world stops.
Right.
So if another woman may date him or somebody else is dating, and you don't respond in kind, then that person may feel, well, traditionally, when I've called, the world stops and they answer the phone for me. And so, therefore, the fact that you don't means that you're not engaged with me. And it has nothing to do with the level of commitment. It may just do with the fact that this is an expectation thing. And I think that what you have to do is people have to stop taking guidelines and things from one relationship and trying to make them fit into another
Right.
relationship, because they not. Everybody is different.
Right. And that's
You know what I'm
basically what
saying?
I'm saying.
I mean, do you
But
agree with
I'm
that?
basically saying, that, like, and a lot of people may disagree with me. It's all about expectations when you start to date someone. And like I said, dating isn't, there's no obligation to it. Now, if you say, I want to date you exclusively, then there comes an obligation to that person because I've decided to date you exclusively. And we need to now set the ground rules on how we're going to date each other, what my expectations are, what your expectations are, and how to facilitate in getting to know each other on a more intimate and a deeper level. But people aren't having that
But
conversation when it comes to dating.
unfortunately, when you cross the line of having sex, it's an
Right,
invisible line that gets there.
right,
And then there's assumptions based on the person's belief about sexual acts.
Interactions.
You know,
Yep.
some people, feel I'm going to reserve uh, sex for marriage, for commitment. I'm
Right.
not, some people feel like, hey, I'm carefree. It doesn't, it just depends on that individual and what their expectations are. But I think that needs to be discussion, because what happens
Right.
is that if you in a relationship and every time somebody I called, it was immediately unsorted text, and then I feel some kind of way because I'm in a new relationship and that's not happening, then let's address it. Don't let that white elephant, don't let the elephant grow. Because what happens is that elephant start growing in that room and it will consume the room. Why? Because two intelligent people are unwilling to communicate.
Right. Well, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I agree when you bring sex into things, it convolutes things, and like you said, people have their ideas of what sex mean
Well,
or
damn, Fred,
dating.
what you want to go on a date the first time and get married?
Yeah,
Damn, what you got? You got some
exactly.
rings at home? Huh?
He feels
Different
some type of way
sizes?
about that.
Fred say, listen, when we go on a date, if you ain't trying to get married and be in a committed relationship, then you can get the hell on, because I ain't interested in you. Fred wanted them to move you in all right immediately. Baby, you love me? Damn, nigga, I just met you. Do you love me? Okay, yeah, I do. I don't want to pay no more rent. Okay, we'll move in.
Well, let's talk about Rick Ross and his little dating situation.
Oh, that's go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I
You
want
know
you to lead
what?
into the story.
Now Rick Ross done laid up with this girl. Okay, she been giving away the milk, the cream, the butter, and everything else that comes along with it. Okay, so now he meets a woman who is supposed to be have standards. See, let me put y'all. I know this ain't the time. This ain't positive, but see, this is the problem. Everyone wants the forbidden fruit. Why? It don't taste better. It's forbidden. So when a woman or person starts to put standards, oh baby, you gotta wait. Hold on. That mess with a man's mind. See, first of all, now you going to the mile high. Because what have I always said? Your biggest sex organ is your mind, it's not nothing else. So when you start to say, well, you got to do this and you got to treat me a certain way, and those standards have never been imposed upon you, that person's, and let me tell you something, you can be have the same intentions of running them pockets, but it's just the way that you do it. Now this girl done laid up with him, done had two babies by him, going along, getting along with everything he want to do. Okay, now he done dumped her, and she thinking, the way to a man's heart is through your legs, baby. Let me tell you something. A way to a man's heart is in his head.
So
Okay, baby. Let me tell you something. That's
That's
the real
Brianna
mile
Camille.
high club.
That's Brianna Camille,
Look at that.
he has several babies with.
And so she thinking that because, the fastest way to a man's heart is open your legs, baby. No, it ain't. The fastest way to a man's heart is using your brain. Because, see, a man can get sex anytime today. He can say, I'm going to do a call, and I want a blue-eyed unicorn to meet me on Jefferson at noon. And let me tell you something. It's going to be 100 of them that are going to be there. Okay? Okay? Let me tell you what a dude told me. He said, baby, I can get sex quicker than this. I get a cigarette and I don't smoke. And that's real.
But
That's real. Okay? So
let's
therefore, a woman think, well, girl, I know I got that wet. I got this. Baby, that don't mean nothing. You better be working that man's head, especially a man that is successful, because a man that's successful ain't never heard the word no before, not from no woman. So
this is true.
now he got a new woman. Oh, she
Mm-hmm.
high society.
Look at her.
Now she don't look no damn high society.
Well, she
Okay,
not
look at her.
high
She
society,
okay. She trying
but
to run them pockets too. Okay,
exactly.
but she look better. The packaging is better, and
Mm-hmm.
as a result, because the packaging is the better, You think that what's in it is going to be better, but it's not. Because let's be 100. What's the number one motivating factor with Rick Ross is that money. Okay. Now I'm not saying it ain't no they might not fall in love eventually. Okay. But they looking at Rick Ross's fame and they looking at that money. Okay. And that's what they look for. It. I ain't on the bitch no more. I say what the hell I want to. I say it wet, and that's what I meant. Okay. Okay. I say what I want now. So anyway, but you understand what I'm saying? So now she's coming at him, oh, well, there's certain things I can't do, certain ways that I can't. And guess what? She killing his mind game. He ain't never had no woman to step up to his mind game like that. And that's the thing. But here's the thing. A mind game is an old woman's game. That ain't no young woman game. A young woman gonna say, I'm gonna put this hot body on.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. She, which Dej, her name is Dej Drake. She's only 29 years old. Rick Ross is 44. But you said that's an old woman's game. But
May I?
Hold on.
May I?
No, not yet. Peep this. She got the old woman's game, but guess where she got the old woman's game from?
Her mama.
Yeah.
Her mama. Now, where's her mother?
Right here on the end of white. That's her mama.
What?
Yes.
With that fat butt?
Yes.
That's her mother?
That's her mother. That's her mother and her sister. Yes.
Wow.
And I was taking Mother's Day. She's 50 years old. And she was a stylist to the stars and celebrities. And her mother was an actress in LA. So she's got a taste, but take a look at her husband.
Woo! Okay.
This is Joe Glia. So he's Italian. You know he got some money.
So that mama trained her daughter how to run them pockets. That's what she did, okay? She trained her how to run them pockets. And what she tell her? The fastest way to a man is his mind. Oh, baby, no, I'm not like that. No. Before you know it, let me tell you something. You put up enough barriers and red flags, lady. Just try. Just try one day saying, no, baby, I'm sorry. I'm not that kind. Just see. Let me tell you something. Baby, listen. They'll think about you night and day and night. But when you putting everything on the front line, your emotions, your sex, I'll go along to get along. I'll do whatever you say. I will be your slave. Don't no man want that.
Because it's easy.
Obviously, she worked that older man. See what I'm saying? She worked his mind.
Yeah.
Okay?
Obviously.
Ooh, girl. Because she got a nice body and leathered up. And let me tell you something.
So that's her clothing collection. So she went from styling to having her own clothing collection. Now, who paid for this or how? This? I don't know. I don't know all those deets, but she.
Baby, let me say this to you. Here's the thing. Now, here's the difference on the game. I'm gonna put the game on you. Somebody that's not sophisticated say, well, I'm gonna run his pockets. That ain't what you want. You want a man to feel this and to believe. No, you want a man to believe this. If my woman don't cost me something, she ain't worth nothing. It's a difference. It both predicated on money, but it's what you got to do to make that person believe it by the way that you handle yourself and the way that you tell him, this is what I do for me. So this is what you're going to have to do with me if you're going to be in my world.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Money is a common denominator. It's how you put it out there. It's the presentation.
But here's the thing. But I think you have to have you have to approach the right man with that ideology. It can't just be anybody, any Joe Schmo. It has to be the right guy in the right mindset, in my opinion.
Well, here's the situation. Let's go back to the Bible. Listen, Delilah was playing with Samson the whole way. Sure. She was playing a mind game.
Sure.
See, she wasn't playing a sex game. She was playing a mind game.
Sure.
And see, the thing about it is that women be so overcome. A man buy you a bag, they take you to dinner, they do all of these things, and before you know it, you want
You
to
fell in love,
reward that man
right?
by
Your heart
giving
is
him
overwhelmed.
sex. Huh?
Yeah, I say by that time, when most women fall in love with him, and then are just fawning over him at that particular point when he's done those things for her.
First of all, listen, okay? It's all relative, okay? Follow along. If a man is making a 100,000 and he giving you $1,000, that's like me giving you $10.
Right.
But
Sure.
to that woman, that means everything, and that man knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So if a man said, "Well, baby, here, let me give you $1,000 to help you out with your bills, etc., etc.," then before you know it, he's baiting her. See, he's doing. She is what society says is she is a gold. She a gold digger. So what they say is when you give them the gold, now you control the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
Yeah.
knowing your position and knowing the rules.
Sure.
So as a result, what she did was put her daughter down on game. Okay,
Right.
follow along. And so now he's feeling like he got one of the Obama daughters. Okay,
Right.
he got one of them. In his mind, Rick Ross think he'll date one of them Obama girls.
And they're doing a reality TV show based around
Okay,
the family unit. You know, the mother, the daughters, and Rick Ross. You know, I mean, she may have made a lot of money creating furs and designer clothes like that, but most of her items and bags and purses were like they're luxury because they're like python, leather. That was the type of material she used, and a lot of furs. But it was she
and
basically
that man is bankrolling all of it
absolutely, absolutely
because he feels he needs to have an equalizer, and the equalizer gonna be that money.
right,
Because you're going to have to make sure it's like this. Whatever you did in the beginning to keep them, you got to continue to do it so that you can, whatever you did in the beginning, you got to keep on doing it. So what he understands is that bag got to always be full. Because anytime that bag is empty, I'm going to lose my woman. So he understands he's going to go out his way. Not that he's buying her affection, but that he understands what. Look at him. He looked like a hot ass mess. He looked like one of them little Joe Pesci. Remember that little man, Danny DeVito? He looked
right,
like a Danny DeVito. And he know he got to come with that bag in order to be with her.
right,
Bottom line. Because see what she gonna do. Say, I can do this for myself. So if I'm here by myself, baby, I'm expecting you to come up here. But if you down here, then a man give you $1,000, he done bumped you up. So here you are thinking that what he did was something big when it was nothing.
right.
And so therefore, what you have to be able to do, let me tell you something, ladies, follow along because I'm giving y'all some free game. Know when you in a dating relationship, know the animal you dealing with.
That's all.
Do not feed a whale a salmon because he gonna get mad.
Right,
If you got a whale, you got to give him a shark. You got to know how to feed him, and it ain't about sex. It's about controlling his mind. You got to be up here on that mile high. And the thing about it is that women are unwilling to level up. You don't even have to have a lot of money to get a whale. You got to have standards. When you say, baby, maybe I don't have that, but I have standards. And before I have sex with you, this is the rule. Now, you got two things. You can leave or you can stay. But that's the rule. That man is going to do whatever he got to do in order to get you because men are hunters by
right.
nature.
This is true. This is true.
So what you got to do is you got to up the game. Baby, let's say, listen, let me tell you something, okay? We ain't up north hunting for rabbits. We on a safari. We hunting for lions. Okay? So you know, if you are a hunter, you do not use the same gun, the same bait that
Right.
you would use.
For
So
fish.
what you got to do, ladies, is start realizing you the catch. I don't care how you look, what you don't have, you to catch. Because if that man is attracted to you, you can get him. But you got to put standards on him. Baby, listen, if you got to go, I ain't holding you. And let me tell you something. You'll put something, listen, you'll leave what's called an indelible impression in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And he'll figure out another way
Okay?
to try to come and get you.
Baby, let me tell you something. All right? Let me tell you something. The eyes are the mirrors to the soul. When a man can't look in your eye, you know you got him. But you got to be standard, baby. Look, I'm sorry. And this ain't a game for a
Now say that woman.
successful woman.
Now say that
It's
one more
for
time.
anyone.
Now say that one more time for
The
the soul.
eyes are the mirrors to the soul. And when you look somebody in the eye, you can tell what you need to from their eyes. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what my point is that if it's like anything else, the more exclusive something is, the more expensive it is.
Exactly.
Exclusivity and value, they go together. Exclusivity and value. Okay?
But I think a lot of women are afraid to do that, to try to have that exclusivity because they feel like I may not get them.
Baby, let me explain this to you. Sex ain't gonna keep no man. It ain't kept no man now. And and 2,000 years ago, baby, let me tell you something. Sex ain't kept no man. Okay, that ain't gonna do it. Okay, all right, that's not gonna do it. What you have to be able to do is stimulate his mind,
right,
by telling him something. Baby, I'm sorry, I can't do that. The reason I didn't answer your phone call wasn't available. I see women running around. Oh God, I gotta call you back. I'm jumping for a man. Watch this. And that strokes a man's ego. Till another woman comes along and say, and you know what people say? Right. What's it about her? Right. What is it? And let me tell you what killed me. Women say, but he dated a stripper. So that means that she all about sex. She understand the game.
And she holding it out.
See, she understands. See, she know what she doing to get some money from people she don't care, and she know how to lay it down. And when she get with that man, she say, "Oh, baby, I don't do that. I'm an entertainer. I don't do that. That's just something I do by day." Listen, she'll have them change up them lyrics like Drake do. Say you a virgin to me, baby. That's when you putting that real game on. Because what you're doing, you're not chasing them, blowing their phone up, doing drive-bys.
Right.
Baby, whatever it is, it is. And those men, when a woman does that, are drawn to that because they've never had someone to treat them that way. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, let me tell you something. The reason that Drake can't leave the strippers alone, because baby, they got mind game for you all day. Listen, here are women.
Yes, that's their job, to create a fantasy.
That's their job. Here it is, that men knowing that they in the club with it, and they bringing their rent money to him.
Right.
Because she putting it down on him.
Right.
And it ain't about sex.
Right.
It's about what you create in a man's mind.
Right.
Enough that a Negro that got a $400,000 bed say, you a dancer to them, but you a virgin to me. Baby, you done put that in his head, okay? The woman he had the child by is an exotic dancer.
Right.
See, those women understand what a man wants. They don't want that. You have class. Baby, you need to cover that all up. No, baby, not right now. I'll see you later. No, The forbidden fruit is the sweetest because it is forbidden. Look what she got on. Birkin bag. Covered up. So what she's letting him know is that you want me, you is a standard. See, everybody would be a lawyer if you ain't had to go to school, or a doctor if you ain't got to go to school. You got to earn them advanced degrees. So everybody won't, because they're exclusive. That don't mean you know better. It means that you have attained a certain level. These women understand that early in the game. So they get with these men and put it on their head. Baby, let me tell you something. They don't know which way to go. Now that was some free game for you. Okay, this is something Jason want me to do, and I don't want to go too deep because I don't want to, Okay, all right. Listen,
she got a
okay,
book coming out. You need to buy it.
baby. Let me tell you something. Any man, Lauren date or Naomi, listen. I'm already schooling. Like I tell my kids, bottom line. 3 things a man gonna play you for: your time, your sex, and your money. Be able to rebound. That's just
Right.
life. Keep it moving. See, the average woman, if that happens to them, oh my God, my self-worth is caught up into that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. You got with me, you ain't called back, and so what? Let's keep moving. Because at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
But women so caught up, why you didn't call me? And they just might have been busy. But what you did is you tipped the man to let them know your vulnerabilities and your insecurities.
Right.
Stop telling so much of your business. You know what? When a man asks you, well, what happened with your last relationship? He don't give a damn. He
Right.
want to see how to lay the trap differently for
Right.
you.
Exactly.
That's it. Say, baby,
Exactly.
I don't want to talk about that. My past is behind me.
Right.
See, I ain't gonna give you no clues how to mess
How
over.
to play me.
Baby,
Right.
it was what it was.
Exactly.
And so that's why, well, baby, why don't you talk to me about this or whatever? And okay, and let me tell you something. Do you know most pimps look like Rick Ross? Okay, they don't be no fine delight folks. Okay, like damn,
Right.
they be looking like Rick Ross because you know what? They understand that mind game.
Exactly.
And what do you know what a pimp does? He will withhold his sex to make you earn it. See, let me tell you, I'm gonna put you down a little bit, take you back a little bit. As FBI told me, past behavior is predictive of future outcome. So follow along. And this is but I'm gonna bring it back in. During the 80s, Linwood, it was so much dope everywhere.
Right.
Butch Jones said, I'm gonna be #1 dope man. How? You gonna kill everybody? I'm gonna give away free dope. What? Yep. And then on the 31st day, I'm gonna run that price up, and I done ran everybody out of business. You
Exactly.
follow what I'm saying to you?
Right.
You gotta know how this game plays. And as a result, he became very successful, so successful that Harvard said that if he had a legitimate business, it would have been in the top Fortune 500 because he understood the game.
Game. Right.
See, what you do is you give so much and you stop. Once you stop, you're in control of it. And what women don't realize, they keep giving, keep giving, keep it. Make them earn that.
Exactly.
I went to Gucci one day. I said that purse been, let's say $900. Say it was $1,500. I said, listen, that purse been there for about a year. I give you $1,100. They said we'll burn it first. We don't barter with our product.
Right.
I said, you do what? So you mean to tell me you wouldn't take it? No, we don't do that. Because we don't let down our standards.
Yeah, setting the precedence. Right.
Because see, once you do it, then we're gonna become like TJ Maxx. That's why Gucci has been able to hold its brand since the 1800s.
Yeah. Yeah.
By having standards. No man, a man want a freak in the bed and a whatever. Baby, no, don't want it. Let me tell you something. He can go get a freak in the bed anywhere, up and down the street, around the court. He can get a freak in the bed with a man, woman, beast, or fowl if he got enough money. And if he got enough game, he get it for free. That's just it.
True.
So don't worry about that man having no sex. Well, if he don't have sex with me, then he gonna leave me. Well, then let him go. Okay, sex is like food. It's Wendy's, it's McDonald's. Go ahead and your business. But when you come with me, we gonna do what you started talking about at the beginning of the show. We gonna date. So make sure you nice and full when you come in here, because you're not getting nothing that's in the refrigerator. We just gonna be having that. We gonna be just talking, going out, doing different. But I don't want that. And let me tell you something. Once you start doing that, I don't care who you are, it's going to set a precedent with that person
Right.
because everybody wants what they can't have.
Right.
You
So let's.
understand what I'm saying?
I get it. Now we
So
now
what else
we
we talking about?
we've been talking for 45 minutes. Let's talk about Trump. Trump tells a CBS News reporter to ask China. So in this press briefing, the White House has held that they haven't held in 2 weeks. CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Jiang found herself in a clash with the president on Monday, asking why he is making the coronavirus pandemic a global competition if everyday Americans are still losing their lives, and we are still seeing cases. So let's take a look.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if everyday Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you,
ask
I'm not
China?
saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question
That's
like that.
not a nasty
Please
question.
go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay, anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But
We'll
you
go over
pointed
here.
to me. I have two questions, Mr.
Next,
President.
please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the
wanted
young
to,
lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish.
Okay.
But can I ask you a
Ladies and
question,
gentlemen,
please?
thank you very much. Appreciate
But
it.
you called
Thank you
on
very
me.
much.
I would have lost my job that day and got escorted off the White House lawn. Literally would have lost my job.
Speaking of whales, you can say what you want. That's a whale. Okay. And the games for regular hunting don't apply to Donald Trump. Then he went home that night and said, Asian Americans are very angry at what China has done to our country and the world. Chinese Americans are the most angry of all, and I don't blame them. He just sat up there and made that up. Okay, but he a boss. There's no way you are going to, as a woman, confront him and he not be able to boss up again.
Oh,
Speaking of which, when your guy go to prison and do a year and the Justice Department don't oppose him being released, Paul Manafort, that's when you're a boss. See, whether you like his politics or not, he is a boss. And he's dealing with these people like, you are not my equal. I am superior to you. Okay?
right.
But I tell you one thing, people, oh, well, Melania, Melania running things.
Right.
Because she understands how he operates. That's a whale right there. And that's just it. And all of that, you're gonna catch him up. Listen, you gotta say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah, but
And
I
be
would have
willing to
lost my
deal with
job.
the consequences.
Yeah, but I would have lost my job.
Trump don't play no games. Okay?
He would have got cussed out that day on the White House lawn if it was me. You saw her take a step back. She said, "Wait a minute, let me take this mask off. Let me risk my life to check you back for a second."
See, she should have then said, "Who the hell you talking to like that?"
Exactly.
But see, guess what? She afraid to do that.
Right.
See, you gotta. The reason he's so effective, he's willing to be down and dirty. He'll go where nobody will go. And you know what
Exactly.
people start to believe? They'll start to say, "Well, if he goes in a little Rubio and all of that, it was comical." But at some point in time, he dealt with seasoned politicians like they was kids,
Mm-hmm.
like they was nothing to him. And as a result, he began to get a following where people said, did you see him speak up to this individual? Did you see him do this, etc., etc.? So what about your boy?
Let's talk about it.
Mitch McConnell.
So Senator
McConnell.
Senate Majority Leader, he slammed former President Obama for criticizing Trump's administration in response to the coronavirus pandemic during a private call with members of his alumni association. So let's take a look at the video. Let's listen to some audio of what he said.
The response to this global crisis has been so anemic and spotty, and it would have been bad even with the best of governments. It has been an absolute chaotic disaster when that mindset of what's in it for me and to heck with everybody else, when that mindset is operationalized in our government. What we're going to be battling is not just a particular individual or a political party, but what we're fighting against is these long-term trends in which being selfish, being tribal, being divided, and seeing others as an enemy, that has become a stronger impulse in American life.
Wow. Always taking the high road. Well, listen what Mitch McConnell said.
Right.
He should have kept his mouth shut. I think it's a little bit classist to critique an administration that comes after you. You had your shot. You were there for 8 years. You know what? I am amazed at how people, especially Black people, we're going to take the high road at whatever it is that we're going to do. You know, that was a lot of hot air to say. You know what? Mitch McConnell is out of line. He's out of touch with reality.
Absolutely.
And he need to go sit down and catch up with his crew in the nursing home.
Exactly. But then he also said,
but you got Obama, and the trade, he lost me for the first 5 hours.
So you're suggesting that in order to really get with Donald Trump, you gotta play the game like he playing the game. You gotta get down and dirty with him. That's what you're suggesting. Attorney Vonda Evans, you're suggesting that these politicians get with him like that.
May I say this? Seasoned. And I'm telling a seasoned politician is one that is groomed from the cradle.
Mm-hmm.
He ate up Bush like this. Ow. He ate him up. La Rubio. Ow. All of the rest. Ow. Hillary Clinton. Ow. And you know what happens? You have people who say, you're willing to speak our language against the status quo, and we like what you stand for. And that's why wherever he goes, there are packed stadiums. People say, oh, those people are paid. No, they're not paid. They look, because if you say something enough, it becomes right. It becomes somebody's truth. If you keep saying, the right person keeps saying something over and over, it becomes someone's truth. And that's what has happened with Donald Trump. He say crazy stuff, and folk just say it's true. Now we know that Barack is in a class by himself.
Right.
So what he should have done was said, if you're not willing to go to that level, say no comment. Just don't say nothing. But all what he said really did and the classes and
it was a private phone call that somehow got leaked to the press. Now, who leaked it to the press? I don't know, but Yahoo News got it, and then CNN confirmed it.
Allegedly, he was speaking to Trump's daughter-in-law.
Well, no, he was
And Mitch.
okay.
And somehow it must have been some aide or something. Whipped out that phone on Granddad and started voice recording. Okay. You understand? He don't know that technology.
Right.
And so he's all engrossed in this conversation. And it was said. But if you're unwilling to go where you need to, just say no comment. Because basically, I did not feel that what Barack said was, I didn't understand what he said.
But here's the thing. Barack didn't say that publicly. He said it in a private phone call to his alumni association. But somehow it got leaked from that private phone call to the press. And then that's when the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said what he said, because now the press has it. And he said, oh, well, he should have kept his mouth shut.
Oh, I'm seeing what you said. But see, then someone who was probably in there with Obama,
right,
one of his Secret Service men, okay, probably flipped at that little iPhone and put it on record, okay?
Right. And said the press needs to hear this. But it wasn't strong enough. But he is pushing. I think he had that little private meeting because he was pushing his former staff to push Biden, But hey.
The friendly candidate, huh?
Right.
That like to touch and feel every damn body. Now, this is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant's helicopter crashes. And and there's a lawsuit filed by his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And they're blaming the accident on the passengers.
Mm-hmm. But so my take on it is, how can she do that? Did they sign a non-disclosure agreement? Not a non-disclosure agreement, but did they sign a waiver before they got onto the helicopter during that time? Did they do that? I mean, I feel like that's the only way she can say that these people, the passengers, were responsible for it.
Well, first of all, allegedly, this helicopter pilot had worked for Kobe several times exclusively. This was Kobe's plane. He ended up selling the plane back to this company. But when he would go on different trips, he would request that this pilot would drive. He just liked him. Like somebody, when you call Uber, you want a certain driver.
Right.
It's my belief that, my speculation, that's better, that somehow he probably informed Mr. Bryant the winds are XYZ. And Kobe could have said, we can make it. He then may have let the company know, I'm going to take it off anyway. I told Mr. Bryant, but he want to go anyway.
So would that be the legal recourse that the company has based on a phone conversation if that allegedly happened? But what if the phone conversation never happened? What if there's no record of that type of dialogue communication with the company?
Right. There has to be something. And when you fly like that and you take off, it's probably a requirement that if it got to be so windy and that there was an advisory not to fly, that you inform your passenger. Here's the problem. They had a personal relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And this was someone who may have felt, well, if that did occur, I may not have my job and I'm just going to trust him. You understand what I'm saying? Because this man has flown with him and his family, with he and his wife. This was his pilot, his guy.
Right.
So the issue becomes if I call Uber and I'm, well known, and I said, I want Vonda to drive. I love how she does it. We've all done it. We need to get to the airport. Step on it. Let's
Right.
just go. But I can't go. Step on it. If you get a
Right.
ticket, I'll pay for it. I gotta get where I need to be.
So what do you think that the daughter of the pilot has that can, because I obviously is tight-lipped right now because the press hasn't released anything. But what do you think, what type of communication or what type of documents
A
that
text message.
Okay.
A text message. I'm with Mr. Bryant right now. Dad, you know what? What's going on? Why don't you come by today? I can't. I'm flying Mr. Bryant in. He's saying that I told him it's bad, but he wants to go anyway. But you know what I'm saying? And then she said, okay, well, you should have lit some type of communication
So
for him.
that type of communication like that can stand up in court and just dismantle, the claims that Vanessa Bryant has against, or against the daughter and her father, the pilot and company.
Well, here's the situation. What it is that it can show that he assumed the risk in traveling like this. Now, I'm just assuming because
Right.
it did say that the pilot's rep that this woman has something. And
Right.
the only thing that she potentially could have, in my speculation, is a text message.
Okay.
When there's evidence to show that a person assumes, say for instance, in that situation I gave you, step on it. I gotta go see
Right.
Lauren. Uber driver gets into the accident. We're both killed. Okay. What if prior to that, the Uber driver texts us something, I'm not available because I'm with Vonda, blah, 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 something to that, whatever. Not meaning to tell on them, but just like something like, well, I'm just going to do it. I'll be back shortly or whatever. I already did say, or she probably said, why are you going to fly? I told them, but I'll be back. Don't trust me. Love you. Something like that. Because you've done it so many times. How many of us have fallen behind when we're traveling to the airport? We start to accelerate because we've done it a million times and nothing happens. But this one time we have an accident.
Right.
It's human nature. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're a risk taker. And from my understanding, I believe there was some type of tournament that was being held that he wanted to attend.
Okay.
And I know from myself, I'm running late or something and I get an edge in, I'm going to put it to the floor so I can get to where I'm going. And successfully, I've made it. But what if in my haste, I were to cause an accident? You just take that risk.
Right. Right.
It's an unfortunate one. And I think that there's a lesson to be learned if that were the case. Listen, Mother Nature bows to no man, no woman. And when there is a recommendation, say, well, I tell you what, Mr. Bryant, you fly that plane. Because I ain't going up in that damn plane. I'll see you later, boo. Let me know how that work out for you.
You stay your butt home and you put on a mask when you're going outside.
Wait a minute, Jason.
That's the recommendation.
Jason.
Yes.
I saw someone today I knew. And my vehicle was stopped. And I was getting out to throw away some plastic thing. And he was walking toward me. Hey, Vonda. My eyes got big. What? I said, where my mask at? Where my mask at? Oh, what you want, man? It's so amazing. Okay, wait a minute, Jason. Baby, I don't take no chances out here, okay? Because I'm an old woman. I got gloves on my hands too, okay? Because that corona, she ain't playing with nobody.
Right.
Okay? So listen, but the one thing about it, that when I watch TV, and I see people in close proximity, I can't even almost remember us doing it because it's
Right.
this mass stuff. I can't. I think to myself when we were watching something with Nick Cannon and Wiley. Will those shows
Not
ever
live.
be able
Mhm.
wilding out? Well, how can we ever be in close proximity to one another again
Yeah.
without being afraid?
hmm I mean, I think it can happen, but it's going to take time. And then I think people are waiting for that vaccine. I think a lot of more people would wait to that vaccine until it's approved, and but then getting it to the public, that's going to be another fiasco.
Well, allegedly, from what I understand, and I hope and pray that I'm inaccurate, when the summer comes, these viruses don't go away, they mutate and they change to a different type
Right.
of influence strand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this corona was bad enough. If that is in case the fact, if that is true and it mutates, can you just imagine how deadly, more deadly this second strand could actually be?
Right.
Because whatever it is going to the nucleus of it. We don't know how to prevent against it. And that is the scary thing. What is it? 50,000 people die yearly from the flu. We saw hundreds of thousands of people die from this COVID. Can you imagine once, if this is accurate, with scientists saying it mutates again, how much? Let me say this to you. If this COVID get any worse than this, I'm telling you something. I'm going to the island of Samoa. They didn't have but one case. I'm gonna go somewhere they got one damn case, and I'm gonna leave that. And listen, if I can do Vonda's law from there, I'm gonna do it. If I can't, I ain't gonna worry about it because I'm gonna get paid from Wayne County. But I'll be damned if I go back through this again. This was like a nightmare. Okay, and it's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Samoa Island. I'm going to Africa. I'm a fact. Oh, wait a minute. New Zealand didn't have no cases. Did I be in New Zealand? I'm gonna find where they don't have.
Well, you can't come here.
And me and Prince gonna go.
They're gonna say
I'm
you
gonna
can't
see
come.
y'all on Facebook on Vonda and Jason, but I can't be bothered because this was a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
Okay, this COVID. I mean, come on. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Senator Hood, God rest his soul, recently a victim of COVID. Was he related to the Hood family, the judge, the Hood family?
Well, I'm not really sure because I haven't I did get a phone call, someone asking me if he was related to him or not, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Not sure at all. Yeah.
Well, I think that kind of takes us out of here.
That takes us out. We reached our time. We're over 8 minutes, but it's all good.
Well, listen, I want to tell everyone, Comcast did it again, failing. They're good at failing. So when earlier, the cable's working beautiful, the internet, at night when the usage goes up, I'm on my phone and I am super pissed, but I'm not even gonna say I'm super upset. Now I'm mad to say that, okay? So hopefully when we come back next week or this week, I'll be on my laptop because this is gonna be a little bit too much. But listen, thanks so much for tuning in. And I wanted to make sure that we did it. I just want to say to you, Jason, that recently I've noticed that a lot of people are actually tuning in through YouTube, through Facebook, and they're actually looking forward to these discussions. And this one was different. I did like it. I felt it was heartfelt. And I look forward to talking about other conversations dealing with dating, dealing relations, raising children, things that, everybody faces. So until we meet again.
And you're watching Vonda and Jason live.
Peace out.